Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on chess.com's tactics trainer, and I'm going to work my way through three puzzles and just share my train of thought along the way. Well, I feel like I've seen this puzzle before. What is the story with this? This is an endgame study. I don't know if I've covered it in a video, but I see the solution. Well, it's helpful knowing these little stalemate resources when it comes time for these puzzles. White cannot win this. White needs to draw. And the way forward is not to go pawn hunting. In fact, you're not even guaranteed to get this guy. Rook here, there's rook a8. And we got three connected passed pawns. The idea here is to trap your own king. I've covered one of these. Actually, what was probably helpful is covering one of these endgame studies in the Cool Chess Puzzles playlist, or some idea where a bishop was actually involved. But black is controlling a lot of squares over here. If our king is on a5 and our pawn is on a4, we run out of moves. So after rook takes rook, king takes rook, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're in stalemate. Rook takes rook, king b3, h4, king a4, h3, king a5, h2, a4, pick your favorite move. We're in stalemate. I guess maybe the best try for black, but they're not going to be in time. No, it's going to be as a draw, but if you don't capture the rook after rook takes rook and, I don't know, push your f-pawn, this rook is really fast to pick up the a-pawn and then sneak around to stop the h-pawn in time. So black has to capture back here, and then we go for what's known as a self-stalemate. I've seen many of these types of ideas in endgame studies, and that's what we have on board right here. Problem solved. Black's on move, but regardless of what black's next move is, it's stalemate. Draw on board. Interesting start. Let's see about puzzle 2. Okay. Team black. Oh, what an adjustment this one is. Well, here's a very important mating idea to be familiar with. Take on h2, king takes, rook h8. Queen block, we take the queen, we give mate on h1. Night and day. Last puzzle to this one. Very important mating idea to be familiar with. Not so much that stalemate resource in the first puzzle, but yep, king move, rook h1, but that's as far as they take it with this one. Let's try one last one. Team black. Okay. What is the solution to this? Well, black is up a piece. Up a knight, a full knight. 5 pawns versus 5. White is vulnerable on the back rank. Let's not forget this. I'm thinking it's a knight move. But where to exactly? Well, if we play, let's say, knight c4, this attacks the queen. Knight c4 allows what? Knight c4 allows white to take the rook. And on queen takes rook is hitting with check. We don't have time to take advantage of the back rank, but this likely factors in. Oh, you know what it might be? No, let me just share what I thought for a moment. I thought of attacking the queen from a different square, f7, and I thought after knight f7, rook takes rook, queen takes rook. Oh, that maybe is it. We could play king h7. This is what I was thinking first, though. Knight f7, rook takes rook, queen takes rook. We allow our rook to be captured with check. No, that's not working. After king h7, yeah, we're attacking the rook, but the rook just comes all the way back to defend mate. That's silly. Why'd I even devote a second to that? All right. Let's try something else. What else is there? Well, we're up a piece, but we're ready to lose him right back. Is it even a knight move? Well, maybe it's knight here. So that rook, queen takes rook isn't hitting with check? That might be it. My concern is, well, there's rook e8. Because we don't have as much control on the back rank anymore. Well, I'm running out of ideas here for candidate moves. It's not fun. Okay. It has to be a knight move, otherwise we just lose the knight back. And how could that be a good thing? Knight c4, rook takes rook. If knight takes queen... Oh, this is the answer. Knight c4, rook takes rook. Knight takes queen. And after rook takes queen, we recapture the rook, and if they get the knight back, we give mate. My only concern is, I'm just noticing one other detail here. The key idea here is to attack the queen. And both of these moves, knight f7, knight c4, both attack the queen. But what is the key difference? Because in the end, if in both cases knight f7 and rook c4, if rook takes rook is played, we're taking the queen. Who cares what square the knight came from? But there's a different idea available to white that I'm only now seeing because I'm questioning knight f7 and knight c4. There is a threat rook takes pawn that maybe I should have seen right out of the gates. Knight on f7 defends h6. This h6 pawn is unprotected currently because g7 is pinned. Therefore, it's knight f7 to not only attack the queen, but defend against rook takes pawn. So if knight f7 rook takes pawn, we can take on h6. We're winning a rook for our pawn. If rook takes rook, only at that point do we recapture. Yes, we can allow queen takes rook, but by that point, we have a knight and queen versus queen position. That must be it. Let's see what black does. He goes in for this. We take the queen, take the rook, puzzle solved, puzzle solved. Okay, well, an interesting group of three. Certainly that first one, getting thrown in endgame study. And yeah, a nice group of three, I think. An important mating sequence in the second one, and a little bit of calculation working out the details, the differences between two moves, knight c4 versus f7 in this case, and exploiting where Team White in this case is weak, and that is on the back rank. Okay, well, as usual, feel free to share how you did with these three in the comment section below, and I hope you got something out of it. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.